All right, we're live. Let's do this. Ho, 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 everybody. Welcome to Hot Rock, the last for this year, probably. I'm going to see about that. But Christmas is coming in, so this will probably be the last stream we do. And today I have two brand new guests with me. We have the former Sister Sin frontwoman, now focusing on her solo project, Liv Sin. Yeah.
Hello.
And we also have the founder of Sweden Rock Magazine and also very involved in Sweden Rock Festival for many, many years before moving to Portugal now, right? Mark Frostenäs.
Thank you.
And I see we have some guests coming in as well. The comments will probably start coming in after a while as well.
Poor bastards.
How you guys doing?
Good. I am doing very good.
Cool. Mark?
Well, as I told you earlier, I played paddle in shorts and t-shirt earlier today, and I know that you two didn't. So, well, life is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we did not.
Sweden is nice, but it's there is this one short period like between October and March where it's just terrible. It's just a short period, but
Yeah, the short period, yeah.
no, we envy you for being in Portugal.
Very
But
much.
I mean, not all of us started Sweden Rock Festival and are now able to retire to Portugal. You know, so we'll just have to.
I didn't start the festival. I
sorry,
started
no,
the magazine.
The magazine, right?
But still, I mean, it's actually kind of strange that there are mostly the people in the music business besides the band that makes the money and not the musicians itself, which is sad, really.
Yeah.
But it was good for me, so.
Yeah. Can't complain too much. So you say, yeah, you were involved in Sweden Rock Magazine from the start, and it was actually, from what I understand, it was a fanzine from the beginning, right?
Yeah, the main reason why we started it, I used at the printing company for Expressen, one of the biggest newspapers in Sweden, and they had this well, how do you call it in Sweden? Whatever, they wrote about fanzines.
Yep.
And me and my friend, because we were fed up. I mean, this was in the mid-late 90s, and traditional hard rock and metal was ridiculized everywhere. There was only one metal magazine in Sweden at the time, Close Up, and if they wrote anything about the bands that I liked, they just made fun of them. So we thought, well, why not give it a try? And well, it wasn't that good. I'm not proud of showing people the first issues of Bright Eyes.
But it became
well,
good.
in the end, we got the offer to rebrand it to Sweden Rock Magazine, and from there, it's still out there. It's the only hard rock metal magazine in Sweden at the moment, and the biggest one in Scandinavia.
I got the latest issue. I'm a subscriber for many, many years.
Haven't got
Really?
it yet. Ooh.
Are you a subscriber?
I actually get it for free because I was doing their last year the EM song for Sweden Rock Magazine.
Yeah.
So they gave me a subscription. So
Cool.
they come every month to me. But
There's
I
just
haven't
one
got it
catch.
yet,
You'll get it later. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I get it
because
later.
it's a free one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well paid.
So that's a tip for everyone out there. If you don't think that the stuff you like, if it's not there, just make it yourself, like Mark did, right?
Yeah,
Good
no, I
idea.
mean, it's the same thing with, I mean, nothing falls in your lap by itself.
No. I guess it goes for music as well. I think we're all driven by that as artists, we think that something's missing, or, in my case, it was just the music that I kind of adored when I was young. I felt that no one was playing it. Just like you say, people ridiculing the kind of music I wanted to play. So we just said, what the hell, we'll just do it ourselves. And Liv, speaking of music, you have a new album coming out in January
Yes.
called Kali Yuga. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
That's a
right.
strange name. The only like association I get from Kali is from the Indiana Jones movie. Is it the same Kali we're talking about?
It's actually it's from the Hindus. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But the Hindus have 4 yugas, which are like time periods, and Kali Yuga is the last one, and that one is the most chaotic one,
Right.
where everything is out of balance, and after that, the period where everything is in balance and harmony comes. So right now we are in the Kali Yuga, according to them, and I just thought that fitted pretty well with both the songs on the album and my lyrics, but also how the world is, and how everything is around us. It felt very suitable with the Kali Yuga.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
also when I was a teenager, I was very drawn to Kali, the Hindu goddess, the Hindu goddess. And I had my first band was Sisters of Kali. So I have always been attached to Kali somehow, or attracted to Kali in somehow. So I think it fitted the album very well. So
Cool. And I listened to the single "Anti-Hero" is the one that's out right now, right? It's
actually we have
quite a
3
bit.
out, but yeah.
All right, okay. I was just browsing Spotify, I could find that
Yeah.
one, but it's quite a bit, I would say, harder and more evil than maybe the stuff that I've heard from you. Especially Sister Sin was more towards the kind of street metal sleaze genre, but this is
Absolutely.
like proper metal. You said you were influenced by King Diamond, for example, and I can very much hear that in some of the harmonies and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, I love, obviously, I love the old school heavy metal very much. But I always wanted to play more heavier metal also. I mean, I wanted to do Sister Sin, but I also wanted to try out to play heavier metal. I was liked Arch Enemy and those kind of bands. So I definitely am more influenced by, with my new band, I am more influenced by a bit more modern metal, with a touch of the old stuff, obviously.
Yeah. Cool. So the plan is, from what I understand, so Sister Sin is like on ice for now, and you're focusing on your solo project. Will there be like live gigs and stuff in the coming year, or how do you plan to move on?
With
Because you had like a
yeah.
2-year break during the pandemic, from what I understood, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, of course, with Live Sin, our plan is to go out and play. But since we didn't have any shows in 2020, because I was supposed to go out with Sister Sin. So we are like behind everything in schedule. We are like the last in line on the line of awaiting bands who want to tour and want to get out and play. So we are working on getting out, and we have shows in Scandinavia booked, but it's harder to get out in Europe and the rest of the world when you didn't have anything booked. And I mean, it's very weird right now, and we had more planned, but then it got canceled. You know.
I definitely know. I mean, I was
Yes.
supposed to be on stage about this time, I think, or even finish with the gig on Stockholm Rockout. That ended up being not only canceled, but the whole booking company went bankrupt. So it's really strange times.
Very much. So I guess we have to do. We focused those years on making the new album, but also learning how to stream. So we did streams for a Patreon during those years, and we had to learn how to cameras and how to make OBS work or not work always, but stuff like that. So we did stuff even though it was the COVID times, but we couldn't be on stage, obviously, and you couldn't either. So yeah.
This is something you brought up actually, Mark, when we talked earlier, how the kind of the business has changed a lot, and a lot more is expected from the artists themselves. You were speaking about Patreon now, for example, and all the social media you're doing and videos, and we're so responsible for everything, which is kind of a different situation, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I feel it's totally different. I sometimes miss the old Sister Sin days when we could just be the artists. We could be the band. and we could play. And yeah, we had to make sure we were on time and get all the stuff, etc., etc. And yes, I had to do a lot of tour managing and finding hotels and stuff, but that is kind of nothing compared
now.
to what we are kind of trying to do today. So yeah, I think it's both. It's good.
No,
Also.
I don't think that the general fans understand today what it takes to be not to be a musician, but everything besides the actual music making. And
Yeah.
I mean, for me, there are so many great bands out there that they release an album and it's forgotten within a couple of weeks because they are only focused on playing music.
Yeah.
I mean, take the most successful band in Sweden at the moment, Sabaton. Why are they the most successful? Are they the best bands? It's a good band, but they have Per, the bass player, that is a great manager for the band.
Absolutely.
And that's what it takes to make it in the music business today.
Yeah.
I would argue, however, that I think Ghost is probably past Sabaton right now, right?
Yeah, but
I think they're
He doesn't
bigger
count
in the
them as a
States.
metal band. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's a pop
But
band,
I think
right,
they're
Mark?
bigger in the States, but I doubt they are bigger in Europe.
Yeah.
And also that is, I mean, they were very, very big before, but they got that Mary on the Cross on TikTok, which blew up like crazy. And they didn't do anything to make that happen. It's like,
it seems like it's dumb luck.
I don't know, but
but that's kind of what artists have to kind of strive towards, even though it is dumb luck. But you kind of, since that makes such a big difference, everyone tries to figure out how to cheat the algorithm some way, how to get that stuff viral. So we're all preoccupied with other stuff besides doing music, and it is hard. It is very, and I feel like the business is changing so fast, and we're just
I hear you.
so much more demanded of us.
Yeah, and I mean those. I curse the algorithms every day I post something because you're like, okay, this is going to be good, and you're really like, okay, it's going to be good, and then it's like no, and then you never know, and like this was much less people seeing this thing that I posted, but in my opinion was much better than the one that I posted yesterday that got much more, and it's like why, and I can't, and I so then, that makes me
then
like,
you kind of you kind of start comparing like traditional marketing. So say like a band going out on tour, you play a gig, and at these times, I mean, we've had gigs this year where we've had a turnout of 50, maybe 60 people in one of the places we played recently. And you prepare so much. You do the long trip. We fly down to countries in Europe usually because we don't play Sweden too often. And then you get a turnout like that, and you kind of think, if I just put out a quick reel on Instagram, I would have had like more reach with that one stream than I had of this weekend of working, so you start comparing kind of this, how much is it worth to be featured in a magazine, or how much is it worth to play live compared to just getting all the stuff out there and just hoping something sticks on TikTok or Facebook or whatever. And I think
on the other end, you don't do this because you love marketing. You do it because you're a musician.
No, I hate marketing.
Well, we kind of have to love marketing, or at least be very involved in it.
We have to try to like it, at least to accept it. And I'm getting more okay with accepting it, but I don't like it so much. When I had to do it myself, because it always gets me so confused, and I'm like, sometimes I sit there with my phone, I'm like, I don't know what to do. Fuck it. And so I envy those people who just can do something every day with their phone and come up with stuff. I don't, and I struggle with that. And I just wish I could play music.
It looks easy, but it takes a lot of effort. But on the other hand, there is. I mean, there's always good sides of technology and bad sides. I would say, like, back in the day, there was a lot more gatekeeping in the business itself. So take, for example, a printed magazine like Sweden Rock. It made such a big difference. If you weren't featured in a issue of Sweden Rock or something, then you weren't basically, mentioned at all. So At the same time, it's more free. Everyone can get out there and fight on equal grounds, more or less.
Yeah.
But it also means that there's a lot of noise out there and a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of low grade kind of quality. Because as you mentioned, TikTok is terrible. My kids watch TikTok all the time, and I can't stand it. It's just the quality overall is just so low. Whereas a printed magazines like Sweden Rock, for example, there is quality control. The articles are well made and photographs and everything. But on the other hand, the amount of people who can be featured in a number or an issue of Sweden Rock is quite limited.
It's limited, yeah, absolutely.
Well, now I'm biased when you mention it, but I do think, I mean, there are so many websites out there, but in general, I don't know, maybe they reach a lot of people, but as you mentioned, the quality in general is so bad. People can't write. They love it and they do it, but mostly I tried to read the interviews and I stopped after like 2-3 questions because
and I can tell you for a fact how most of those interviews are made, because I do a lot of those interviews, and the sheer amount of interviews you have to do before an album today, you end up just having like email forms that you kind of fill out. It's not a conversation with a person, or maybe I don't even have the time to write the answers for the interview anymore. I just record them on my phone and send them over and have the person on the other side write it, and with all the mistakes that means. So you never have like an interesting conversation with the interviewer. They just kind of ask the standard questions and you answer them, and that's why the interviews become quite bad. But that's also because we as artists have realized that the amount of people who actually watch those or read those, the web zines that you mentioned, is getting smaller and smaller. I would say, the general YouTuber today has a lot more reach when he does like a goofy guitar video on YouTube than the web zines. I would say, Blabbermouth and Loudwire probably, those are big, but otherwise, I don't think there's a lot of point with it. But I mean, I appreciate the ones, doing it, reviewing everything, listening to everything.
Me too.
But it is, they have the same struggle as the artist. It's really hard to reach through like the noise.
Yeah.
But I do understand it because they don't have any income. So who should like proofread their text? No one will.
No, there's no time. No. I think they're using the same strategy as everyone. Just do as much content as possible and see what sticks, basically.
Exactly.
And it becomes like this unlucky circle of events where everyone is counting on everyone else to bring in the audience, but no one really does because everyone's counting on like
the other ones.
So I just need to go back to the original question. What people don't realize what you have to do. I saw this post on one of my favorite bands on Facebook. This person, he was so mad that they had started a Patreon page. Why can't everything be for free? I mean, I'm buying your album, so I should be entitled to have all the material you release for free.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Even though it's a quite big band. I mean, well, they just have faced a pandemic. They have been with no income for 2.5 years, and what people, at least here in Europe, don't realize is that there are so many clubs that has been shut down. People that used to work in the music business, they had to search for new jobs. It's hard to get people to sell merch on a tour or try to get hold of a bus driver for the tour bus.
Or a bus for that matter.
Or a bus,
No, it's strange times. And I mean, I know that the audience is frustrated with all the cancellations and stuff, but really that's like the last resort. That's when you've tried all the other avenues and the only thing you can do is cancel. And usually the band or the promoter takes the heat, but there's so many variables that can go wrong on the way. And the bottom line is that you have to sell the tickets, and especially now after the pandemic, people need more insurance as well. They need to have the pre-sales. They need to know that the show is going to happen, because no one wants to put up with the money for flights or hotels or booking venues and stuff like that. So
it is weird, and I mean, I'm very happy that actually these things like Patreon exist. So that is for me, that was a new thing. I started during the pandemic. I think many did, but
Yeah.
I was into it a couple of years ago. But then I felt it was like too much work and too much paper. But it gets easier. So I just tried it out. We tried it out now, and you get a community there, which I actually love, and I kind of missed when the pandemic hit and you didn't meet people. At least we had our fan club, because for me Patreon is kind of the old style fan club. You have your fan club, and I mean, I was in the fan club when I was a teenager for the band Silverchair, and I paid for that. Maybe I didn't pay monthly. I paid once a year, I think, to be in that fan club. But it's kind of the same, and you can choose to pay €2. It's not that much, but you get content, and you get the communication with the band. I mean, if I had that communication with Silverchair when I was a teenager, I would have been so happy.
Oh yeah. The artists back in the day, that was just like from another world. It was just disconnected from everything. You read about them in the magazines, but that was it. So
that was it. So yeah.
And I'm glad that I am from that generation when they were almost like those sacred gods that were untouchables. And well, now you just follow, I don't know, whoever, Nicky Six on Instagram, and you see when he takes a dump every day. It's like,
you get to see Tommy Lee's junk on Instagram before they take down the picture. And well, so I wanted to play a little game with you, and I wanted to ask you. We're going to do two versions of this. So we have a little. I saw this on another video. There is a site called Stategories. Do you know of the site?
No.
So it's like assorted games. Let me just bring this up here. I'm going to share a little tab. So basically it's, where do I have it? Where is it? Maybe I took it down. Or it went down. No, here it is. So it basically works like this. You get two alternatives. Okay, so this is in the category rock songs.
Yeah.
And you have to guess which of these have the most plays on Spotify. So really easy rules, but it tends to get harder than you think. So this is in the rock category, which is kind of a broad category. But I'm thinking we'll just. I mean, there's three of us, right? So we can say, on a vote of two, we kind of go for one of these. So this is the first one. Which one do you think has the most plays on Spotify?
I'd guess Marilyn Manson, but
I'm not familiar with Muse music at all. I don't even know if this is like their top hit, but I know that Sweet Dreams was a big
but the Muse song is very big as well. I like Muse a lot, so I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty hard, but I would say Sweet Dreams as well. But also,
people are saying in the comments, they're saying Muse.
Muse, but because I'm leaning towards a little bit there as well, because Muse are really big today.
Yeah.
And that
it's
is
not
one
a
of the
band I
biggest
listen
hits.
to though.
No, and that is also a problem. Me that don't follow the current trends or whatever you want.
But I don't know, is this
like,
a new song?
Those are,
it's years ago, this song. It's
but for me, they're a new band.
Yeah,
they are
very good.
The song wasn't released 25 years ago, so I have no
so it's new.
No, okay.
It's brand new. Okay, so we'll go with Manson, I think, right?
We go with Manson and we'll see.
Okay, let's see. Marilyn Manson, 250 million.
Muse.
We lost right away. Okay,
Yeah,
so you see how sad this guy is.
Yes.
We'll try again, of course. We can't lose after one. Okay, so here we have.
Okay.
Oh, I hate Limp Bizkit, but they are really big. They are really, really big.
Ooh.
I was amazed by this. I saw like figures for some of these American artists, which I just assumed were kind of one-hit wonders back in when the new metal wave came, but they seem to be really big still.
I think they are, I have not listened to them so much as well, so I don't know, but this is Paul McCartney. It's not Beatles, so maybe they are bigger than Paul McCartney. I don't know.
Maybe the
Just
song is
thinking about
amazing.
if the people that are into Beatles and Paul McCartney's solo career are they on
Are they on
listening
Spotify?
to music
Nah.
in this new 20-year-old format? I don't. Well,
Someone says here, Limp Bizkit, no one over 50 listens to Spotify.
Okay. Should we
I
go
think
for
we'll go
Limp
with Limp
Bizkit?
Bizkit, right? It
Yeah.
has to
yeah,
be. I
I
mean, it
think
goes
that's the
against
point I
our
tried to make.
personal wishes, but let's do this.
Let's see.
230, yeah, it's a landslide.
Yes.
Okay.
Woo!
Moving
All right.
on, we have another. Okay, so
Thank
now
you,
we
Jay.
guess between this one and another one. So that's basically how it works. I would say Painted Black
Ah.
has to be bigger than this. That's a mega
yeah,
hit.
yeah. Me too. It has to be. Otherwise, I get a bit disappointed.
Very, yeah. This has to be like the biggest. I mean, I think maybe Satisfaction might be bigger, but this one has to be among the biggest Rolling Stones. And I mean, when
Definitely.
they played Stockholm this year, right? And they filled, where did they play? Tele2 Arena, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
I mean,
Yeah.
they
think so.
they have like 40,000 people in the
Yeah.
crowd when they play Sweden. So
Yeah.
But I do still think that the Jay he has a point that no one over 50 listens to Spotify. So it's
Yeah, but it's painted black. It's like
I mean, it's been in
if we
tons
would
of
go
movies.
with record sales, it would have been an easy decision.
yeah.
I think there's actually like an amendment to the American Constitution that says if you do a film about Vietnam, you have to have Painted Black in it. So just from all those movies, you
do
kind
it.
of
We'll go with Painted Black.
right. We go with Painted Black, and
I
we're
say
hoping
we
for
do.
more than
Yeah.
230 million. Yeah,
Well, yes.
Yeah.
landslide
Good.
victory. All right.
Thank you, Earth.
Okay, so this should probably wipe the floor with the Beach Boys, right? I mean, 700 million is really
It is.
that's a lot.
That is a lot. So I would say painted black again.
Yeah. I don't
I
even
would
know
guess
this
so.
song. It isn't the Beach Boys' most famous song, this.
No, I don't know it either.
No.
I don't think I know. No. So okay.
Yeah.
Someone says you mean Fortunate Son. Yeah, that's another song that has to be in all the Vietnam movies. That's Creedence, right? But you're
Yeah.
right, that's also in all of them. Okay, we go with Rolling Stones again on this. Should be a landslide
Yeah.
victory, this as well. Oh, still 200 million.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Now here's a band I don't know much
At all.
about.
First time I hear the name. Shit, I'm
What?
old.
I can't even because I'm on the phone. It is so small. What
It's
is
Arcade Fire.
Arcade Fire?
Yeah, and a song called Rebellion or Lies.
Probably a very big band. I know the name, but I don't know the song.
Yeah. Same
So
for me.
I would say it's more than Beach Boys, but I do not know. It's just because the name sounds familiar.
I think 200 million is a lot. I mean, if we saw, I mean, we compared it with how much did Sweet Dreams had like 200 millions, right? In the first one.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
I guess, I mean, this could be a really big band in like the Gen Zs, and I wouldn't know. I would really not know.
I would not know either.
Someone says,
Oh.
well, they're kind of divided in the comment field.
Okay.
What do you think? What does the heart say?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think
No.
Arcade.
Okay.
I hope not, because I guess they suck, because I have never bothered to check.
Because they're
check
newer
them
than
out.
25 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm leaning towards Arcade Fire as well.
Just because we don't know.
Just because, yeah, we jump into
Yeah.
to this black pit and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Ooh, and we lost it.
No, we lost it. Okay.
Okay, I'm actually going to go back because
I
this
can
was
live with that.
we have 3, okay? So that's not too good, as you see from this
Yeah.
Will Smith animation. But we'll go back and we'll do it now for metal instead, because this was the rock category, which kind of
Okay.
includes stuff like Arcade Fire, for example.
Yes.
This should
Can
be a
someone
lot.
please explain why it looked like Will Smith was trying to blow a guy?
No, he was just disappointed. He was just like catatonic or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but whatever.
Kids, kids
Okay.
made this app, and it's for kids, so they have their memes and everything.
Yeah.
Right, now we have a
Okay.
pretty unknown song by Rage Against the Machine. I don't know of this.
Yes.
And we
On
have a
Fire.
pretty unknown song by Deep Purple as well.
Yeah, I think,
Not
but I
that.
do think that Rage Against the Machine is more the Spotify generation.
Yeah.
It is.
I think unless it's like a mega hit by Deep Purple, it shouldn't be able to win this. I think that if you look at Deep Purple's discography, they probably have
Yeah.
a few hits that have like millions of plays, and then there's a long way down to the rest. Whereas
Yeah.
Rage Against the Machine is probably more even, but
Yeah. Maybe they play more like with all the albums plays more
Yeah.
because of younger generation.
someone is asking, by the way, is Deep Purple metal? Why did this show up in the metal category? But
Could
yes,
be on
for
the rock,
you
maybe,
people
but
born
yeah.
after 1990, Deep Purple were considered metal at some point.
Yeah.
Quite.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
one of the originators of heavy metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But should
I
we
mean,
go
before-
with Rage Against the Machine then?
I think so. Yeah.
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 Let's do it. Rage Against the Machine. We have an impressive 100 million and 28 for
Yeah.
Deep Purple.
Yeah. Okay, so
Right. So now, okay, I know this one. Cemetery Gates will wipe
Oh,
the floor
yeah.
with this song.
we
This
should.
is.
Yeah. I think so
Otherwise,
too.
I get disappointed.
I would say that the main hit is probably
Walk.
Walk, yeah.
Yeah,
But Cemetery
yeah,
Gates
yeah,
might
yeah.
be like second or third place.
Yeah, I think so too.
Or Cowboys from Hell, of course.
Greatest,
As a big hit.
the best album by Pantera. I really like
Yeah.
the fact that he sang back then. Now he had like 3 voices back then. He had the really high kind of Rob Halford half
Yeah.
falsetto screams. He had
Yeah.
the touchy feely stuff that he does in the verse for Cemetery Gates, but also the
Yeah.
angry one. Now he just has the angry one. It's a bit boring. But let's see here. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Yes,
That,
but
that
it
was a lot
close.
closer. That
It
was a
was
lot
close.
closer than we thought. Okay, and now we
Rammstein.
have one of those not very big hits by Rammstein, or at least
But-
I don't recognize
Yeah,
it.
but it's still Rammstein.
It is. If this was Du Hast, I would just click without asking you. But I don't
of
know this
course,
song.
But no, me neither. But yeah. Ooh, I don't know.
The 119 million wasn't that impressive, to be honest. I thought it would be more.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I don't know. Mark, do you recognize this song?
No, never been a fan of Rammstein on album. One of the best live bands ever.
Yeah, I
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
gotten to see them. Have you seen them live?
No, I have
you
not.
must.
I have.
But you
to,
live in
but-
Gothenburg. No, you live in Stockholm. Sorry.
No, I live in Stockholm.
Yeah, they played a couple of gigs in Gothenburg.
Yes,
this
I
year.
know. Yeah.
No, it's
Anything
well,
Rammstein releases is gold. Someone says in the comments.
Yeah.
My heart
I'll
wants
take the
to say
opportunity
Pantera.
and say it too, but Pride Star Gaming. That's you're welcome. Hope you enjoyed them
What are we talking
in
about?
the comments.
Oh,
That
Okay.
was just a comment directed to me.
okay,
Uh-huh.
right. You have like this secret conversation now with the
Yeah.
fans. That's cool.
This one I think is so hard. I don't know. I don't know which one I jump between.
Well, I don't know the song with Rammstein, but I would go with. But as you said, Danny, like Cemetery Gates, only 119 million.
Yeah. And I mean, Rammstein has how many millionaires? How many listeners every month?
Yeah.
Very many. So
On the other hand,
it's a
Pantera does have like
it's a stadium band. Pantera, even with the
Yeah.
so-called reunion, they would not be playing stadiums. No, I would go with Rammstein.
I lean towards Pantera, so this is your call, Liv.
oh no, no. Okay.
I will
think
blame you if you get it wrong.
No.
Yeah.
I say Rammstein as well, but I might be wrong. But I
All
say
right.
Rammstein as
We're
well.
doing Rammstein.
Yeah.
Armee der Tristen. Oh, and that was
Ah,
not
Okay.
their big. We
Nope.
scored 2. Okay, we have
Yeah.
to give it a try. 2 is embarrassing. We have
Yeah.
and then we get this.
We will
Okay.
sit here all night until we get.
No,
at
this
least
one I
5
actually
minutes.
know. Duality is Slipknot's biggest hit. This has to be bigger than The Pot. Tool is like a cred band.
yeah. I say Slipknot as well.
Yeah.
But I
Slipknot
know
or-
Tool is very big as well, but I say Slipknot.
They are, but Slipknot are huge in the USA.
Yeah.
And Duality is like their maybe not number 1, but definitely up there. Mark, do you have
Yeah, I'll
anything
go with
to?
Slipknot as well. I never thought I would mention
Choose
Slipknot
Slipknot.
in a
Yeah.
positive way, but okay.
Let's do it. Duality 500. Yeah, that's an impressive number.
Ooh, that is a lot.
Yeah.
I went to when Copenhagen was had the Tool as a headliner. I tried to get into the band. I don't understand it. Probably too stupid. I remember me and my friend. We were standing in the back, drank our beer, 2 songs. The beer was empty. We looked at each other, bar, and then we went away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the
So now we have a
Unforgiven
problem here.
and-
I would say Metallica is of course bigger than Slipknot generally, but this is the Unforgiven, not the number one hit.
No,
Had
but
this
there's
been like
No,
still-
but it's also a crossover song that only not the metal people listen to.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I would go for Metallica.
Me too.
I have to say Slipknot. I think still Slipknot because this is like but since we're 2 against 1,
Okay,
Well,
we'll see.
it's sad, but true. Nah, shit, it's hard. You made me uncertain. But we're talking about the biggest metal band on the planet, even though it's
Yes.
not their biggest.
I mean, this is probably not even their top 10, right? So that's the
With
question.
Unforgiven.
Yeah. I mean, nothing else matters, sure.
Yeah.
When it goes to
absolutely.
for ballads, 1 definitely, Master of Puppets, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But
You know, Enter Sandman, but The Unforgiven.
Well, we have 2 comments, and both says that we should vote for Slipknot.
Yeah, we
okay.
actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's do that then.
Okay, we're listening to the audience. We're going with
Yeah.
Slipknot, Duality on this one.
Yes.
Unforgiven, still, ooh, not as that was
Oh,
an
yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so that just goes to show Metallica, not even one of their hit songs
No.
still racks up 400 million.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
this
now we
next
have
Tool
to
song,
Unforgiven.
I have no idea if it's one of the biggest
I recognize
songs
this
in the
song.
comments. Please help us.
I think this is
I
one of their biggest songs.
I don't know at all, actually.
But I don't think Tool can rack up 400 million. That's
No.
Someone
No.
says that
It seems
biggest
lot.
hit is Stinkfist, actually. So this is not their biggest hit.
No.
Yeah, but also says it's their second biggest hit.
Yeah, but still, can you do 398 million?
That's a lot.
I think that's a lot.
And you're right there, Mark, by the way. Someone says here, I don't really like Metallica, but The Unforgiven is great. So just as you said, the kind of crossover
Yeah.
song that's... How can you not like Metallica, by the way? I actually even like their new song. I was surprised myself.
Yeah, it is actually.
Maybe this person has only heard Metallica after 1990, so
Yeah.
I totally get him.
He listened to Saint Anger and then The Unforgiven. He was like, this was actually quite good. So,
Yeah.
so what do you say, Metallica?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I vote for Metallica. I do.
We're doing
But,
Metallica.
yeah, I vote for Metallica.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
landslide, Metallica. All right, Korn.
What has this
Korn.
list to do with metal music?
Yeah, it's a
Got
lot
that
of
life.
new metal stuff. It's a lot of new metal stuff here. I guess
And
it's
that-
just an
The list should be called the bad metal.
the bad metal list.
Yeah.
And here I don't listen so much to Korn, but I do actually like a lot of their songs. But this song I don't know, so hard
Whereas
to say.
this
They are
was
big.
this was apparently Tool's second biggest hit. So maybe Tool has this, right?
Yeah, maybe Tool has this.
Someone says Tool aren't metal either.
Yeah, but what is metal? Yeah, I can
It's a
see where
hard-
it's coming from, but it's like, what is metal? Yeah, it's hard.
Isn't
Can't
Tool like
But it's
prog?
fun doing this quiz on the Crazy Licks page. I mean, your fans, I don't think that we can expect that much help.
Probably not. But I think
Do we
some people knew about the Slipknot songs and stuff like that. So I guess we're just shooting in the dark for this, right?
Yeah, yes, I feel
But
like
should
it's
they-
that. I don't know. Do we have any suggestion from anyone?
I'm leaning towards Tool just because I recognize the song name, but I don't
Yeah.
recognize.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Well, do
Okay.
let's
Tool
do
it
it.
is. Ah,
Oh no!
we're so bad at this,
Damn. Yeah.
and we get
Okay.
Will
Oh, now
Smith
he's
again.
see what now
Yeah.
he's going for
Yeah,
it again.
it does look. Someone should
Yeah.
redo this with
Yeah.
like an obscene member here.
Yeah.
Okay, so generally, I think we did better on the rock version of this actually.
Did
Which
we? Or
is,
did we? Similar bad, maybe.
Yeah, very. I mean, three.
Yeah.
That's. Let's just. I mean, the maths for this. It's 50-50 if we just guess.
I know.
Three in a row. That's still
Yeah.
12% chance. I mean, it's 1
Yeah.
in 8 that you get that right. Just by guessing. Well, anyway, that says a lot about our knowledge of modern metal, I would say.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
at least
it's
about
not that I feel
screams.
ashamed if I don't know the difference
No.
between a Korn or a Tool song.
Yes.
It actually makes me proud that I think.
So, Mark, we mentioned this earlier when we were talking because your number one favorite band of all time is
Blind Guardian.
Blind Guardian, and not only is it like your favorite band, but you're actually one of the main Blind Guardian collectors in the world.
Yeah, pure stupidity, but great fun. It's like,
And I'm
why
actually-
why do I need 13 different colors of a vinyl with the same release? But well, someone's got to do it.
Yeah. And I mean,
Otherwise, the Patreon page probably would be much more expensive. So all the other fans should thank me.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand. I never gotten into collecting anything by a band, but I can understand where one might start and do that. Coey here in the comments says, I've never listened to Blind Guardian. So, Mark, let's give him some suggestions. I would say if you're a new listener...
The thing is, if he's into more melodic 80s hard rock like Crazy Licks, maybe he won't like it. But a lot of those people probably like Halloween as well. So
I think so, yeah. I like Blind Guardian very much. So
yeah. So I would say some of their early 90s stuff, everything from Tales from the Twilight World until Imaginations from the Other Sides.
I would definitely go with Imaginations from the Other Side. Check out that album, and that goes for everyone. It's an amazing metal album, still holds up very well today. And even though it was kind of a guilty pleasure when I listened to Blind Guardian back in the day, because it was a kind of a geeky band, they sang about Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. But I'm not at all ashamed to admit today that I still enjoy that very, very much. Liv, what's your connection to Blind Guardian?
Not so much more than the song Bright Eyes, actually. I like that song. I had not listened so much. It's not my cup of tea, but that song I liked, and I listened to that a lot when I was in my when I went to my what do you call it in English? Gymnasie.
High school, I guess.
Is it high school? Because
Yeah,
I
I
went
think
to musical high school then.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of and I think we played
Very
that
untypical song.
Yeah, I think we played it somehow or something like that. So I like that song. I do.
They're asking if
Otherwise,
it's
I
power
haven't so
metal.
much.
Would you say it's power metal, Mark?
They are normally put in that genre, but I would say that they have a quite distinctive style of their own. It's also progressive, and the newer stuff is very symphonic.
Yeah, and they started out as a proper like trash speed metal band almost.
Yeah,
with lyrics about Gandalf.
That was more connected to Walls of Jericho with Halloween, I'd say, together with the early American speed metal bands in the early 80s. But yeah, well, to make it easy, label them as power metal, but it's not heavy. I mean, listen to Dragon. What are they called?
Dragon Force.
Guitar, Dragon Force, and I mean it has nothing to do with that.
No. They don't have the
I don't
typical
know why
like
I
opera
started
singer.
playing Airbase when I said Dragon Force, but
That's what you think of first.
Yeah.
Dragon Force, bass
Oh.
guitar. Right. So speaking of music and albums in general, I asked you to compile a little kind of best of 2022 album, and Mark said right away, "I haven't listened to this little music in my whole life, probably." Because he
no,
has a
it's
small.
well, when for the listeners out there, I have a son at 50 months, and all you parents out there that knows that it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Plus, and this is I was almost saying that even worse, but there's nothing bad about having a son. But I wasn't allowed to drive car for 2 years, which means that my girlfriend, that is not into rock music at all, drove, and so she decides what we listen to. So
Mm,
yeah,
I
so I'm
But
see.
good at
isn't
the Serbian pop music at the moment.
Yeah.
right. So we won't go into the best album of the year in Serbian pop music, I guess. But Liv, do
No,
you have any contenders for best album of the year?
Yeah.
What do you think of
I
the music
do.
year in general?
No, but I think it was, for me, it's been a good year.
Yeah.
I might be a little more towards the modern and heavier stuff than you guys. So for me, it was a lot of bands like Lamb of God, which is one of my top bands right now, and Parkway Drive, and also Soilwork is one of my absolute favorite bands. And all those bands released new albums, which I
Yeah.
think was very, very good. But my favorite this year is with a band called Architects.
Hmm.
So, and I would not think that I would say that. But actually I like their new album a lot. But yeah, the other bands are very also in the pipeline for best album, absolutely. And also, yeah, Parkway Drive also, I like them as well. They also put out a new album. So for me it was like, oh, there's so many bands putting out albums. Hard to choose.
I would agree that it's a good year in rock. Probably it's still an ongoing
Yeah.
like Corona effect, I think, because a lot of people
Yes.
were stuck in studios during these years, and I think we'll see. I mean, we're already noticing like a very, very big bottleneck when it comes to
Yeah.
live performances. You know, the festivals are just,
Yeah.
they're booking out in December. We're like 8 months ahead for some of the festivals, and they're full. So I think maybe we'll get fewer releases next year.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot for sure. I personally, I would have to go for Ghost. I'm a big
Yeah.
Ghost fan.
Yeah.
One of my favorite bands from this millennium, and I think they're just. I mean, I know some of the critique that they're just going towards more of a more pop sound and.
Yeah. No, I
Uh,
like it as well, but I can't get over Meliora.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the
That was,
top.
yeah, that was I love
Mm,
that album. It's like
yeah,
one of the best albums I think in the world or ever made. So for me, I whenever he releases a new album, I get a little bit disappointed when it don't come up to that level for me.
yeah,
But it's still a good album, the new one. Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, it's getting more pop oriented, more of a wide, but at the same time, we have Jocke Berg from Kent doing some of the songwriting on that album. We have Salem Al Fakir as well, Vincent Pontare. Some of these Swedish people who are very much involved in the pop genre of music in Sweden, and so he gets like quite strange people involved for a metal album, but I think the
Yeah.
outcome is really interesting.
Yeah, but I think that's cool. I think it's nice when you do that, when you
Yeah,
cooperate and you
I
get
agree.
new elements in.
Definitely. Someone is asking me here if you got snow. For
Yes.
once, actually, we have snow before. Usually, we don't get snow before Christmas. We get it here in southern Sweden. We maybe
Yeah.
get it in like January, February, but we've had a lot. It was actually -12 the other day, which is like a strange feeling, almost like when you inhale and stuff freezes in your nose before the air gets down your lungs. I hate it.
I hate it as well.
I envy Mark for
And
being
me
in a
too, so much. I hate
warmer
snow.
climate.
So yeah, it's snow
The,
here in blah.
the thing is that my family they left this Wednesday for Sweden, and I do like the winter,
Maniacs.
Yeah.
but no, but as long as it is winter, but I mean the last 15 years it's like yeah, well a couple of days of snow and then it's only gray and well basically shitty.
Yeah.
Everything is just shitty, gray and dark and depressive, and you
Yeah,
you
yeah.
feel like to just pick up
The
a razor
darkness
and
is
split your wrists. But
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
yeah, but what I
there must
wanted
be a
to
reason why there's so much like black metal from the north. The darkness during the winter, you basically wake up, you do some work, and then it's dark again. You don't even
Yeah.
see the sun for some of the days, so
No.
it's terrible.
no.
But you know,
So I will hit it perfectly. I go to Sweden on Wednesday, so the plus
I
degrees
when
Celsius
they're gonna
will
go
come
plus
on
again.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
right? You're-
I will miss it.
So have you been nice this year, or are you expecting charcoal in your Christmas gifts from Santa? What do you want for Christmas? What are your wishes?
I want to go on tour. That is my wish. My only wish. And I think I've been good. We'll see if Santa brings me a tour.
I don't know how that
Yeah.
present will look. You'll unwrap it and it says Tor.
Tour! Yeah.
I don't need a present. I'm happy as it is at the moment. So
That's
Ah,
good.
the humble guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's nice. Yeah.
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 I asked my girlfriend, so what do you want? And she said, oh, I don't want anything. But then, how can you buy anything if she doesn't want anything? But then she
yeah.
said, well, a pair of earrings would be nice, but I know that you don't get my taste, so I can buy them, and then you have given them to me. So, okay, well, that's fun. Let's go with that.
Yes.
I'm at the kind of the same level as Liv. I would kind of want the world to go back to normal.
Yes.
And we're now seeing the
Yes.
post-pandemic effect.
Yeah.
I mean, the countries aren't closed anymore per se, but like the economic situation just makes it impossible to tour anyway. So
Yeah.
some more normal,
Some
a
more
normal year
normal.
would be nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it will be hard to do proper touring besides doing weekend gigs for maybe
Yeah.
at least the coming 18 to 24 months
Yeah, I think so as well.
for bands
Absolutely.
at your level.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We
No,
were talking about
I
this
agree. I believe you.
on the last live stream. I had Chris
Yeah.
Laney on, and we were talking about
Yeah.
this. You know, the mid-level bands kind of. I
Yeah.
think they are the ones who get the hardest time. If you're just a local band playing in the local pub, you can still make it work. And
Yeah.
of course, the big bands, we see them all the time. You know, Maiden and Def Leppard and Mötley Crüe are touring. But for the mid-level bands, it is hard.
Yeah.
I have
so
a
you
question
guys,
for you guys,
yeah, sure.
if I may. I mean,
Sure.
when you're out there, I mean, you must have started out as being in fans of music, and you must have met a lot of your heroes. So what are your nicest and baddest encounters with other musicians?
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
say you're not supposed to meet your idols.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't gotten around to it. I don't know really. I mean, my idols probably are people who are almost not involved in hard rock music anymore. I've always looked up to Desmond Child a lot for the stuff that he wrote for basically all rock bands in the late '80s and early '90s. But he moved on. He's always been into music that's popular at the moment, and just happened to be rock at that moment. So he hasn't done hard rock stuff since then. I don't count on meeting him on the road anywhere on a festival or something like that. So the only real time I've been really, really starstruck is when I briefly, I wouldn't say even met, but just passed by Slash from Guns N' Roses. That was I was a huge Guns N' Roses fan when I was a kid. So just seeing him brought something up. And I met guys from Halloween and stuff like that, and bands I've listened to a lot, but it didn't give me the same feeling as with Slash. That was the larger than life thing that we talked about earlier, just unreachable rock star level.
Yeah.
just because he wears the hat and looks twice as big
Yeah.
than what he
There's
actually
just
is.
something about him. It's such a cool guy.
Yeah. And well, for me, I would say like I have two. I've never been very starstruck because I always knew that I wanted to be the one standing on stage. And so whenever I was like listen to a band or of course I got inspired, but whenever I saw someone on stage, I just pictured myself being there instead. I just wanted to be on stage. But when it was in, I think it was in Revolver magazine, or was it Metal Hammer? I know it was Revolver. That someone painted me as Dee Snider, and Dee Snider was holding up the picture of the magazine. It was
Yeah.
an interview with me about my idol, and I choose Dee Snider, and they painted me as Dee Snider, and then I got a picture from him holding the magazine, and that was one of those moments. I have not met him in person, but that was so cool that I got this picture sent to me, and he was no, I got actually the signed copy from that magazine, and he had signed it, Rock On Live or something like that. So yeah, so it was pretty cool. So that was for me was very huge because like, okay, Dee Snider know me, know my name.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
He knows you exist.
Yeah, he knows I exist.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And then I got starstruck one time, when you got a little bit nervous and starstruck, and I never, like, as I said, been there before or like whenever I see someone. But that was oh God, no, and I forgot the name of the guitarist from singer of Children of Bodom who died. Damn.
Alexi.
That I like. Yes, thank you. I just like popped out of my head. And I love Children of Bodom since they started. So and on a festival he passed me, and I was like, ah! And I went and I got a picture with him, and I think that's one of the few times that I actually got a bit starstruck.
Yeah.
So and for like a bad experience, but we can just say this: I have been a support band to Wasp. So yeah, and we can just.
But did you get to meet Blackie, by the way? Because I've supported Wasp as well, but we didn't see him until he went up on stage, basically.
I mean, it's not like I saw him, but I saw him, and I saw him arguing about where we were or what were doing, and
Right,
stuff like that. So, and I actually,
It's strange. I never heard any support band to Wasp say anything good about Wasp or Blackie.
No.
No.
And the fun thing is, he actually he had to go with our. We had a van, and he had to go with our van one specific time from the hotel to the show because the nightliner couldn't. It was like 20 meters, so it was a short way. But he didn't want to walk, so and the
I think
nightliner
he should
couldn't
walk
drive
a little
that.
bit more.
Yeah, so he had to go with our bus, and he got into the bus, and our driver, he was like, "Oh, welcome to the other tour bus," and he was like not answering and not responding at all. So it was quite funny. We was just sitting there like, okay, that didn't work. So yeah.
And Mark, working with Sweden Rock Festival, you must have gotten to meet some of the really, really big ones who played there, right?
Okay, I need to mention 3 stories. So let's start with Blackie. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
but the thing is that in an interview situation, because he knew that he can benefit from the interview somehow.
Yeah.
So he was nice, but Chris Holmes was still in the band. This was during the Eldorado tour.
Yeah.
And the contrast between those people, because, well, everyone has heard that Blackie is rude, but you can tell that he is well-read, and his IQ is probably quite high.
Absolutely.
And then you have the total opposite sitting next to him. It was
But Chris Holmes is such a nice guy, though.
Yeah.
He's so fun
He
to
is,
talk
but
to.
it was like this drug alcoholic with probably all the letter combinations you can have at the same time.
Yeah.
Sitting besides this, well, he was polite, Blackie. It was a really fun experience. But the favorite encounter was with the Ronnie James Dio. This was still during our fan sign days. He played in Jönköping here in Sweden.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were just kids. I was probably 1920 something, and we came into the dressing room, and he asked us to sit down, and then he asked us, "Do you want anything to drink?" And then he got up, took out beers for us, and really made us feel welcome. After 30 minutes, the tour manager came and said, "Oh, the interview is over," but they had no other interviews scheduled. And Dio, he just turned to the tour manager. "What else do you want me to do? Go and watch the support band again? No, let them stay." So I mean, that was like
that's nice.
That it was really very, very nice.
Yeah.
But the most rude thing was when we interviewed Megadeth when they were touring for their album Risk, and they were supporting Iron Maiden on that tour. And the label hadn't sent a copy of the album. So we were trying to make the interview. And I remember I was asking because their mascot Vic is not featured on the cover, but apparently he's featured inside a booklet.
And you didn't know that.
So the question was, no. So why isn't Vic on the cover anymore? So the question back was, well, haven't you heard the album? So of course I needed to confess, no, I didn't. Then he just said number 3, and pointed behind me. So I turned around, and they had this huge, how do you say it? This that they had in schools before, like a giant kollegieblock.
Oh yeah. I don't know the
What's
word
that
anymore.
word?
No, like a huge paper where he had
Paper,
listed
yeah.
10 different insults.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
He didn't even
when
want to
I hadn't
say
heard-
the insult. He
No,
just said the
so
number.
he didn't say the insult. He only said number 3.
Do you remember number 3 still?
No, I don't remember. But it was not only him in the room, and everyone was laughing. So that was not that polite. But
But was this before or after he met Jesus? Because he's like a born again Christian
This was
now, right?
probably before. But he played at Gävle Rock a couple of years ago, and I saw them twice on the current tour, and I thought, wow, this is really good. He's energetic again.
Yeah.
But this 7-8 years ago, it was so bad, and it turned out that we had booked our room in Gävle at the Artist Hotel. So after the festival, we went back, probably wanted something more to drink, step into the elevator, and so does Dave.
Oh.
And you know, as Swedes, normally you say, "Oh, great gig, by the way," or anything. You just want to be polite. But me and my friend, we had looked at the show. Both of us thought it sucked. So even though we were standing in the same elevator, we didn't say a word.
Well, that kind of
Was
is the
my
Swedish
revenge.
way, though.
Yeah.
In an elevator, not saying anything. That's what Swedes usually do. So nothing
That's
strange
very
about it.
Swedish, yeah.
Or you are at a restaurant and you have been served some crappy food, and then the waiter comes and asks, "Is everything okay?" And it's
you're
very,
like,
very nice.
Yeah.
We're not very confrontational, us Swedes.
Nope.
All right, you guys. So we're actually an hour has passed. You know, time flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
So quickly, Liv, what's the plan? Release of the album on the 27th of January, right? And then
Yes.
then
Some parties
touring.
around that. Yeah.
If
I hope
Santa
so.
brings that tour for Christmas,
If
right?
Santa brings the tour, yeah, we are doing some shows in Scandinavia that are booked at least. So we have that, and we're gonna do a release party where we're gonna play the whole album in Stockholm. I don't have a date yet, but so that's gonna be fun. At least we have already rehearsed the whole album, so it's gonna be fun.
Cool. Fun times ahead. And Mark,
Yeah.
I guess maybe we'll see you on Sweden Rock Festival this year.
It's a little bit 50-50. Kid number 2 is arriving early March.
Oh, congratulations then.
Congratulations.
So
All right.
I don't know
Staying in the sun.
if we can fly with
Yeah, with
you
a
with
small
the baby
kid,
girl
yeah.
at that point,
Yeah.
or if I can get someone to
Yeah.
help my girlfriend, then I'll go. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Right.
I
yeah.
will miss Sweden Rock for the first time since '98.
Ooh, all
Yeah.
right. So we'll see then.
I think it's
Yeah.
a great lineup. I can't wait to go
Yeah.
there. Actually, my I don't know how to say it. My co-worker Shez Kane was actually announced the other day. She's playing there as well, so I'm looking forward to watching that as well.
Cool.
And
So you need to do some backing vocals live.
well, maybe we'll see me
Cool.
on stage. Who knows?
Yeah.
I already got a ticket, so I might as well just go up and do
Chill.
something. So thanks everyone for watching. If we don't see you earlier, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you in a hopefully much better 2023, at least for touring musicians, right?
Yes.
And I want to
Yeah.
thank you guys for being on. Really great chat, and I'm hoping to have you on in the future as well.
Cool. Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Thank you
Yeah.
for having us.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.